Well, welcome to Self-Care and Resilience. And we've been talking about the last 2, 3 months about authenticity and how it relates to resilience. And last week, I started with a book that tells us another way to look at how to take care of ourselves. And self-care, I don't know that we really realize how important self-care is. It's about well, let's start with awareness. We're going to talk about awareness today, but as we go through our slides, I like to let you know a little bit what our agenda is. And those of you that are live here with us, I do encourage you to make a comment in chat about introducing yourself and maybe a sentence or two about your experience with loneliness. And actually, the book I'm using today is also about burnout. So, burnout at the extreme is a lot of loneliness in that you're not attached to your self care, your what strengthens you, what matters to you, and what matters to you is huge. We have not given it the respect that it needs to keep ourselves healthy and effective and productive. So anyway, let's see. I have a slide or two on my resources that I provide in my service, and um, I touched on our website, how that happens, and what you can find there. And then we like to include in our day a little interactive with emotional reflection. And again, that awareness is powerful and it helps us acknowledge, and it's another form of self-care. Oh yeah, you are feeling anxious today, aren't you? Putting a name on it, as simple as that can be, is actually pretty effective. You're listening to your body because your body counts. That's that physical energy that we touched on last week. Okay, so then I'm not going to try the theme video yet. I'm still anxious about getting that organized yet. And yet recommend this video that I came across recently. And then I'm got some new knowledge to share with you about self-care and resilience. And we touched base briefly on the elements of transformation. How do I change and become the best version of myself that I can be? And then end with next steps, call to action. Okay, so here's my resources. I have a book, Fresh Courage in Retirement. I have a essence or spark statement in the lower left is I am precious jewel of wisdom. I am colorful collaborator, motivator, and learner. I am tranquil, authentic, and pure inspirer. I light fires. Transition into volunteering that I think will change people's lives. You feel good when you volunteer. And it's on the Great Discovery platform. And also my Discover my Your Spark, Rekindle Your Joy, connecting with that invisible asset, that spark inside, just feels like you're wearing the most perfectly fit outfit for you. It so connects with the best of you. Okay, so then here's our website, um, communities.kajabi.com/resilience together/resources. And when you join the loneliness to resilience platform, that comes up, you have automatic access to that. So the one thing I would like to point out here is that under challenges, there's The tab links you also to milestones, and milestones are questions for you to assess or reflect what's been your experience with loneliness, and are you progressing from forward, making progress towards resilience. That's our finish line, resilience. And there's other tabs here for discussions and meetups, I think, that aren't active as yet, but they certainly could be. So the links are under the replays are under the links, and resources for you. Okay, so Al, today, how are you feeling? Now, we've been using this slide for several months now, and I realized with this new Powered by Me book that there are a lot of feelings, emotions, let's say emotions, that besides happy, sad, excited, and lonely. Let's see, I usually start here, and I'm not excited, I'm not lonely, I'm a little bit happy because I get to share some of my wisdom that makes me happy. And I'm certainly not sad. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. But okay, so Al, let's here's the list I showed you last week that I've tried to make a little bit more visible, and there must be 30 or 40 feelings, emotions on this slide. So let's see. I think I looked at it earlier, and I think I'm a little bit exhausted to some degree. I meant to take self-care time this weekend, and it didn't happen. I wanted to read more of this book, and I need to now make that a priority. So I'm being honest with you that I when I didn't take care of myself, in fact, I've been having some pain in my shoulder a fair amount, and pain is one of those indications that we're not taking care of ourselves. So, all right, of this exhaustive list of 30, 40 feelings, emotions, does anything jump out to you today, Al?
Yeah, very very powerful words. Yeah, no, no. So basically, the whole week, sometimes you get empowered, with the new year, with the vision board and the goals and everything. So basically, you'll be quite excited, to go on to that. So there's a lot of things to do. Then things start to move in again. My talent jobs projects are coming in again, and at least they keep me busy. So besides attending summits, so and of course sometimes it's not easy, to get all the talents that they want. Because sometimes the projects are too rushing. Like in 2 days they expect me to get so many talents for next week's shoot and all that. So basically, so and sometimes it's overwhelming, I mean, what we're doing over here.
Overwhelmed. Okay. Mm-hmm.
One of the words, and it's good that sometimes we do our self reflection as well, like what you're doing self care on your side. So we have to do like some box breathing, so that we don't over. I mean, like sometimes anxiety comes up, stress. The stress buster will come in your life, So so we have to do some relaxation as well. So by just closing our eyes and having some mindfulness thoughts in that way, so that we're living in the present, and then don't think about the past or don't think about the forward future. So just have a mindfulness practice, on a daily basis if possible, so that
Yeah.
we come in a line with our own the positive mindset. Every day what we have to do.
Focus. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So you
Yeah.
mentioned overwhelmed. That's under the heading of anxious. Was there impatience or distress connected with that?
Of course, it's all linked in. So when the anxiety comes in,
Okay.
you
All
know,
weekend.
whenever you come to the tech issue, so you get anxiety a bit to ensure everything is moving right way. Yeah. But you're doing well. Yeah. So your screen is okay now. Yeah. It's a bit smaller than just now, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This is this is a bit smaller than just now. Earlier was perfect.
Okay.
Earlier this was not full screen.
It's not full screen. Well, okay, so I need, see, I knew I was taking a chance by sharing my screen. Let's try this. Does that work?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, it's back to normal.
Okay, and I want to make sure I'm recording here, so I'm gonna do that one more time. Yeah, yeah, I
It's
am
recording.
recording. Okay,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
all right, thank you for your help. All right, so good. We've got our emotions audited for today, and let's see. Here we go. My screen is not changing. All right, there we go. All right, this is the interactive video. I decided I'm not brave enough to try um, moving all the screens around for that. But the thrivepavilion.org is it has a couple of short, like 2-minute videos on there about how one of our guests recently created this, I guess, co-created the Thrive Pavilion as a virtual reality way for, I think he said there's 2,000 people, older adults who are meeting on the Thrive Pavilion to chat and maybe exercise and maybe I don't know what all you can do. Maybe you can do golf or book clubs or whatever. But it gives people a chance to get outside their four walls and talk to others in a in a virtual kind of way. So um, the one of the videos talks about this lady having lost her husband and feeling so alone and isolated, and now she's able to get on. Uh, I don't know if she does it daily, but she's got friends out there on the cloud of virtual reality that she can connect with and be um, not feeling so isolated. Maybe be able to laugh a little bit and maybe have a cup of coffee with a friend. There's, I guess, you need headsets to get um, it to really work for you. But Robert Signori created it, and I just want to spread the word that if you have adults in your life, and maybe I'm not sure if he mentioned that there's a dementia clients that are connecting. I can't imagine it not working for them, but anyway, I want to encourage you to look into the THRIVEPAVILION.org, Thrive Pavilion. Okay, so I introduced last week this book, Powered by Me, and it's by a medical doctor, but she's also some kind of bioengineer and very good communicator. And um, it she experienced burnout because she had she was doing all this external things for others, saying yes to everybody, being overwhelmed with all the tasks that she had to do, and totally ignoring what her body and spirit and mental capacity needed to be effective in her job and be happy with life. So she went through a whole big process of reassessing her life and taking a sabbatical. I don't remember how long it was, 3, 4 months or so. And she kind of walks through the lessons that she's learned in that process. So, powered by me by Neha Sangwan, um, and being a lady doctor and how well she presents her topic, I'm just so proud of her. All right. So last week, I'm going to refresh a little bit, review what we went through over last week. And I have a couple slides. And this first slide is, her website is Intuitive Intelligence Inc. inc.com. And you can get to the visual aid that I'm using here by either the front page or in her tab powered by me. So she says self-awareness is crucial in identifying and addressing the root causes of burnout / pain. So as I was reflecting on the pain I've had in my arm, okay, I'm self-aware, but am I doing anything about that pain? Not only, it applies to pain and burnout. So identifying and addressing the root cause of the burnout or pain. So she says then there's a triad of burnout that consists of exhaustion, excuse me, exhaustion, cynicism, what? Cynicism and ineffectiveness. A triad of burnout consists of exhaustion, cynicism, and ineffectiveness. So that can really ruin a person's day, I think. Exhaustion, cynicism, and ineffectiveness. So then, burnout is a wake-up call signaling the need for change in one's life. And she being neglected. And my internet is unstable. Okay, so we have then these 5 circles of life, and she addresses the deepest needs are being neglected. So she mentions mental energy, assessing your mental energy, your emotional energy, your social energy, spiritual energy, and physical energy. So exhaustion would probably fit very closely with physical energy. Uh, Cynicism sounds like it would be fitting in that area of emotional energy. And let's see, the ineffectiveness would could relate quite closely to physical energy, but also spiritual energy. And exhaustion certainly has an element of mental energy connected with it. But I realized something new just the last couple hours, in fact. She goes on to say that rediscovering favorite activities, trying new routines, or simply feeling more present in life, every step toward living pain-free is a step worth celebrating. And I'm going to take that more to heart. In fact, I had somebody yesterday ask me, "How's my effortless vitality?" And that's the name of my company. So I just kind of oh, what's that? Was my response, which was not the right response, I'm sure. But okay, so then her core point with these last two reach the positive side of recovery. She says is aligning decisions with core values can lead to greater fulfillment and prevent burnout. Aligning decisions with core values can lead to greater fulfillment and prevent burnout. Well, I think the problem here is most of us don't know what our core values are. So I'm going to present a little bit about core values because I have mentioned before that I wrote an English paper back in my 30s, I think, about values. And my instructor, I ran across him a couple of days after I'd turned in a paper on values. And he's, I've never had anybody in my 20, 30 years of being an instructor, had anybody write a paper on values. So I was aware of values way back then. I think I still have that paper because when he told me that it was so unusual, I kept it. But all right, so I'm going to change the screen here, and I apologize for how small this slide is, but I took it from my course on Discover Your Spark, Rekindle Your Joy. And I like it because it has like 50 different values on it. And in the process of my course, I have you click off, put a check mark by any quality that feels particularly important to you. And this will help you on your path to improving the quality of your life. Those core values are so important, and yet who's taught us about them? Maybe in where you worship or your spiritual journey, you might have heard some presentations on values, but for the most part, I think we're clueless. So on this list, I think I probably clicked on or checked. Do you see any there, Al, that jump out to you as being something that feels particularly important to you?
Sorry, what's the meaning of candor on the bottom next to the word empowerment?
Oh, okay. Empowerment. Yeah.
What
Enlightenment.
what's the word on the left? Candor. What does that mean?
Um, it's an E word, enlightenment. Commitment. I see a commitment word there.
No, below calm. After calm, there's the word
Oh,
candor. There's a
okay.
choice. Yeah, what is
Yeah,
candor?
yeah, calm.
Below calm, candor.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do you see that
Oh,
word? What's the what is
yeah,
what is
candor. To me, candor is being kind of forthright, speaking off the cuff kind of thing. Um, so enjoyment, let's see, uh, perfection. Well, perfection is not one of my particularly important things. How you could also look at this list is when you hear stories that move you, like on the news, or you're reading a book and they're telling a story, because stories are so profound on helping us um, get the point of what's happening, and it might touch our heart as to, oh, I've had experience like that, and yeah, it was particularly important to me. Um, Stimulation, strength, tenderness, thinking. Yeah, I have thinking is particularly important to me. All right, so if you were to mark this now, I know Brene Brown has a pretty extensive list of values. It's not as thorough as mine, but when you were to Google on um, to look for an exhaustive list of values, you will come up with at least 2 or 3 options. Some lists are as short as 12, but I think the more you as your in fact, I added 2 when I took this part of the course. I added wisdom because I didn't see wisdom on the list, and I thought that was particularly important to me. So, do you see another word or two, Al, that you like that's particularly important?
I would say recognition. So sometimes you're undervalued for your work, so it's important that you have a recognition. Um,
Yeah, I can certainly relate to that one. Good point. Recognition, because I don't think I get enough. But that's part of respecting others respecting us, right? So if you might list, I mean, you might put a check mark by 10 or 20 or 30 of these, but the point is eventually narrowing it down to half of the ones you checked and narrowing it down, those down to another, cut the list down in half again. And you might wind up with 8 or 10 particularly important values to you. And then we're going to recall a couple ways that these values might have shown up in your life. Like, what are 4 things that have made you feel amazing over your life that you've done? And it could be running a marathon. It could be having your first baby. Could be buying your dream house or your dream car. And as you recall, like 4 things that made you feel especially amazingly wonderful, you might write 2, 3 sentences about each one of those highlights. Um, and this will start fleshing out how did that event happen, turn up to be. And then also we're going to take the opposite side of uh, what's particularly important to you, and it's your hot buttons. People do certain kinds of things and it just irritates you. What I think one of mine was I've always gotten irritated about people that ride motorcycles and um, they're wearing black. That doesn't help me see you. Help me out here with some color on your clothes, or reflective gear. But that's one of my hot buttons about people. Help me see you so we're more safe. Um, I can't remember the other negative things. Sometimes the example they gave was people talking on the phone in a restaurant, the in being inconsiderate of others. Um, well, that candor is not the right word. There, the can't think of the word. Ambiance of a restaurant, how you're impinging on their experience. Um,
yeah, similar like talking in the cinema. Like yeah, somebody is watching the movie attentively, and suddenly a phone rings, and then they keep on talking and talking and not moving away from the cinema seat. So they should just walk out, if they want to pick up a call, rather
yeah,
than keep on talking.
yeah, that would be the whole rudeness of it. Okay, so
Mm.
um, all right, so we've got maybe these 10, a list of 10 things that are you you've not eliminated from your bigger list. So of those 10, as we think about your positive experiences and your hot buttons, how do they play into or reinforce those 10 top things? And we're trying to get down to just four core values. And it's not the easiest task, but it's well worth your contemplating that, because our values, I just realized, I think it was last night, that how she looks at Dr. Sangwa looks at our values as being part of our spiritual energy. Who knew? Is she connected it to our spiritual energy? So, okay, so we're not now. She lists this 5-step decision making tool. So, as you have these 4 core values um, that matters to you in your spirit and in your heart, we're going to use them to consider when you're facing a decision. She says these core values will help you decide, what are you willing to stand up for? You know, if you marked perfection as um, uh, especially important to you, then you're willing to stand up for nothing less than perfection. Now, that's usually a pretty high requirement, and most humans aren't 100% perfect. So, that decision making tool might be getting a little bit in your way, but it's a choice you've made. And like Al is saying, being mindful of uh, what's working for you and what's not working for you is also part of our transformation, right? All right, another part of the 5-step decision making tool is, what are you willing to let go of? I would think sometime in your life you might want to let go a little bit of your perfection, but that doesn't mean you have to let go. You know, to me, if you let go of perfection, then you probably want to embrace excellence. Excellence would be a nice, healthy value that will probably serve you very well in your life. Okay, so step 3 is what you say yes or no to. I've been meaning to get the book by, I think her name is something like Shanta or Rains. She wrote a book on saying yes to life. And I think she worked for Oprah Winfrey and was one of these that put so many other people and things ahead of her own happiness, that when Oprah challenged her to start saying yes to physical energy and emotional energy, life changed. And I think I need that book. All right. Number 4 is what you're inspired by. Well, for me, I'm inspired by beauty. I think a lot of women are inspired by the beauty of flowers or things that grow. You might be inspired by music. What inspires you, Al?
I would
What?
say the new things, any new tools, that comes out. So it's like sometimes like you learn things, that you never learned before, Like for example, meditation techniques and whatever, some, some
Good answer. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
like AI, AI things. For AI, sometimes you never know, how you can shortcut your daily activities, like what you're doing and all that. like what you did for your newsletter, you put there empowered or written by AI. So it's very interesting, what you put up in your newsletter on LinkedIn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I wrote the volunteer course, I took what I wrote, my content, and put it through an AI program. And I was pleasantly surprised at how much it improved because I seemed to be short on words and that expanded what I gave it to be more understandable, easier to be understood. So, yeah, I like your answer. Okay. Now, number 5 step decision-making tool is what makes you feel obligated? I find that an interesting question in regards to values. What makes you feel obligated? I I guess for me, I would describe that as I have a strong sense of responsibility. And so that does make me feel obligated. I want you to take my words to the bank. I want you to count on them. Um, that they're maybe not gold, but they have value like gold. Um, Um, so responsibility, feeling obligated might very much connect to providing for your family or keeping your family safe or um, being that provider. So, so these are powerful questions, aren't they? What are you willing to stand up for? What are you willing to let go of? What you say yes or no to, what you're inspired by, and what makes you feel obligated. So it kind of helps cut to the chase, what's my North Star kind of. All right, so now she has provided us with um, 5 questions. And my point of doing these 5 questions, and hers probably too, is of those 5 elements of energy, mm, what's a question that might help me be aware? That's where our transformation starts, is when we can be aware of what's happening for us. So question number 1 is about spiritual energy. Does this request, so say that you're working in your job and you've got a project, an idea, or opportunity, and does this opportunity, project, idea align with your highest values? So, since integrity is a big part of my core values, um, do I see any and every part of this opportunity or idea as being aligned with integrity? Um, uh, is it aligned with my sense of beauty? Would be another question. So, um, I think I've mentioned before, Al, that it was, this is a few weeks back, but when we're not aligned, why is that so important? It will frustrate you. It might make you angry. It make you frustrated when you're not aligning with your highest values. I've got a couple nephews that have struggled with anger management. And according to this, and according to her perspective on alignment, is that when you're not aligned with your highest values, um, it causes um, a lot of frustration and anger. And yet, is there anything that shows us or tells us that Oh, I'm angry because I'm not aligned with my core values. I don't think so. We need this training. So, um, another question, and this has to do, maybe it's the same opportunity, but now we're going to question and raise our awareness around physical energy. All right, does this idea, opportunity, or choice result in a net energy gain or drain? Um, I know somebody that often comes to our events on Wednesdays is my friend Bill, and he's in the process of moving into a condo. And some of his decisions, I'm sure, moving is such a big job. So, but in the physical energy assessment awareness, does this move actually give him a net energy gain or drain? Now, he's been struggling with um, sadness the last couple years because after his wife died. Um, so I'm hoping that this move for him he sees as energy gain and it drains his sadness. Wouldn't that be cool? That he's increasing the right things and getting rid of the decreasing the sad drain that he's been experiencing in the last year, especially. Anything that come to mind for you on these two questions now?
Yeah, I believe what you say is true. Like the earlier on, you touched on those five questions. The second question was letting go. So if you don't let go, then nothing will happen for the better being. So if you keep on holding on to the past, whatever failures or setbacks, or whatever things that you haunting you, on your past fears or memories, so eventually you never go forward. You cannot step into the future. Forever you'll be stuck in that same position, and you cannot propel another step further up. So
Yeah,
it's difficult. It's
you
like
get
a heavy baggage on your shoulders, and you cannot move on, from there. So it's
yeah,
important to let go
yeah,
of all the traumas and whatever, and go and get like gain positive energy gain, like the net energy gain. So if not,
yeah,
then we always be worrisome, and lots of things are coming up, in your system. Your body system will slow down and everything. So basically, this is like a new opportunity for a beginning. Shedding, like this year, just Chinese New Year just turned over last week. So it's like shedding of a new skin. It's a complete transformation. Yeah. So basically, it's you shed into something new. Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
yeah. Very good, very good. Um, we talked a little bit about last week about this. How often do we step back and say, is this giving me energy or taking energy? I think sometimes I've done that around certain people that I'm um, either helping or they want, I remember years ago somebody said, well, Sharon, we need you to like help lead this group. And I remember like it didn't matter to me. Let them matter, let them lead themselves. So I was not that felt like, and I guess I responded in a um, not so great response, but I think I sensed that it would drain me, um, and and that there were other people that were probably pretty close to being as good as as I would be, and but I distinctly remember how my reaction to that was so not like me. All right, we've got a couple more questions here. And okay, question 3. And this is making us aware of our emotional energy. What's the primary emotional driver that you're experiencing? And Al kind of touched on this. Is it fear or excitement? So, in being aware of our emotional energy, is this opportunity idea project is the primary emotional driver that you're experiencing? Is it fear or excitement? So, another word I'd use there is it inspired? You know, things that inspire us kind of lift our spirit, and we're eager to do it. Let me step up to the plate and help you out there, you know. But if you're, we got to be safe. There's some risk there, you know. I think there's too much risk. Then it's going to drain our emotional energy. Sometimes we have to let our kids try some things out, like playing baseball, you know, or soccer or something. Um, and you know, they finish the game with sadness or disappointment or you know, oh yeah, I helped him make a goal. I feel so good about it. You know, they look that mindfulness that Al brought up. Okay, now question number 4 then is about mental energy. And how we could become aware of this is on what timeline will this opportunity impact you? On what timeline will this opportunity impact you? Immediately, short term, or long term? So I think what it's getting at is I might be able to handle this opportunity today. I might be able to handle it for a week, but if you're wanting me to handle this opportunity for the next year, forget it. I don't think that aligns with my mental energy on a long-term basis. And there's lots of things in life that, you know, I'm thinking of taking care, you know, being a caregiver. Yeah, I'll do some caregiving today, and maybe uh, Monday and Friday. But oh man, if this opportunity is for the next 5 years, that's just not possible. So again, you're assessing, is it giving you energy or draining your energy? Now, of course, I'm sure that is involved with the caregiving, and how close you were to them or you would like to be to them would be another way of looking at this mental energy. Is it giving you an opportunity to connect when it hasn't been what you would like it to be? So anyway, that's a pretty interesting question. Is it, can I handle this for today or this week? Or can I handle it for the rest of my life? Might be part of assessing mental energy. Okay, one more question. It's not moving. Let's see. Oh dear. There is one more slide. Let's try this. I must be frozen there. Oh, there we go. Okay. Question 5. And ladies and gentlemen, this measures your social energy. And the question is, what potential impact could this social opportunity have on others in your world? So, of course, social energy involves somebody other than you. It's with others, family members, colleagues, your teammates. So the awareness, what potential impact could this new opportunity have on others in your world? It is very um, admirable that when opportunities are presented, have they considered how much it will affect our team, the people you're working with? How much does it impact other teams? How much does it impact the people buying your product? Or does it impact things like climate change or sustainability? It's others in your world. So there's been a lot of opportunities that have been brought up in about potential impact of certain things being developed and the public having a say about, have you considered how it's going to impact the animals, or the forest or whatever, it goes on and on. But so this awareness of social energy, um, I I live in a condo building of 15 people. So what's this potential impact on the other residents in our building? Is a part of assessing whether a decision or opportunity is good for not only me, but for others. So it's pretty interesting, isn't it, Al? These questions about how it correlates to what's particularly important to me. Any comments about that from you?
Yeah, I would say that in order for us to leave an impact to the world, it's actually to create something for the betterment of the humanity. So whatever you live on is like leaving a footprint. What you have created, like what your art you do and your caregiving, for your community. It's just a small simple step that you do every day, and it keeps on building up, the momentum and all that. So basically, it's important, that you have that kind of thing in your mind that set in, so that the world will be in a better world. So a better world, living in peace, joy, and harmony. Yeah.
Okay, good. Very well said. Very well said. I think I'm going to chew on this a lot because that whole I even need to stop and be like the fact that I didn't do what I intended to do or wanted to do this weekend. And here I'm going into the next week a little on the exhausted side because I didn't do the self-care I needed. And I need to learn my lesson. All right, so I'm going to quickly end here because I've got another appointment coming up. And just remind you that, like Al says, our mindset is really, really important in this. Elements of transformative journey. Are you overthinking? Are you nervous? Are you worried? Is it draining your energy? Are you afraid? Or do you have pain? And worry is a misuse of imagination, is one of my favorite words of wisdom I have. But you could choose in your mindset, switch over to courage, hope, and being curious and inspired. And I realize this positive thoughts have a lot to do with spiritual energy. I just love that tying our values to a sense of spiritual energy is just amazing insight. And I hope you grab a hold of that. And in your self-care, that you are willing to consider the spiritual words of peacefulness and serving and being creative. And just a couple seconds here on the next steps that I provide for this community. We're here through a power of shared stories, empathetic connections, and interactive experiences that are transformative, and our community creates a space where you can be seen, heard, and understood. Here, your experiences matter and your choice holds significance. So, my values in my course, Discover Your Spark, Rekindle Your Joy, can help you both become aware of what your values are, and then um, after the course, we want to help you align your choices and decisions with those values, because it brings fullness, fulfillment, satisfaction, and contentment, because you are aligning now with what matters to you. And I do have a book, Fresh Courage in Retirement, out on Amazon, Finding Your Purpose, Essence, and Fulfillment. And it's do-it-yourself kind of book that I ask a lot of questions, kind of like we're doing today, to help you move closer to finding your purpose. So, Alan, thanks so much for being here today. And Mike Beverly will be our guest next week. And he also talks about self-care. Uh, and he connects it, I think, quite a bit to pain. So I'm going to listen closely to what he has to say. And my shoulder's feeling better already. Just, sometimes just petting yourself. Yeah, is helping. I think that's the hand, I use on my mouse too much, and I need to not maybe use my mouse so much. Actually, my screen is I can touch my screen, and I'm starting to get to using my soft pin on that. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being here, and that I hope we are helping the people moving from loneliness to resilience. And see you again.
See you, Sharon. Bye.
Bye bye.